Good morning and welcome to Fast Horses Today. Today is Sunday. It is November 10th. And does anyone remember what happened on this day 40 years ago? Well, it was the first Breeders' Cup over at Hollywood Park. And, I remember that well. It was on NBC and it was pretty cool to watch a full day of horse racing on TV, which we would never see, back then. So that was 40 years ago. Time does fly by. And that's the history lesson for today. So that was November 10th, 1984. All right, now let's move over to today. I've got some horses that I'm going to make some win bets at Del Mar on this Sunday card. I'm not going to make any pick fives today. Over the last, couple shows, I've given out some pick fives that we just missed on. And, it's upsetting. And you think about what could have been. For example, yesterday, the pick five ticket was $135. Ended up getting knocked out by that Peter Miller horse and had the rest of the races handicapped pretty darn well. Pick five pays $10,000 and we don't have it. So, at the end of every show, I usually mention, if you want to play things as is, if you want to add, subtract, play the pick threes within it, play the pick fours within it, or, you make the win bets. I certainly do that myself. I do make the pick five bets, but I do play the pick threes and races within that. And for example, yesterday we missed out on the big one, but ended up cashing a few tickets and made it, somewhat of a winning day. So, I hope you're able to do that as well and able to use the information given out on the show, to help you win your bets for the day. So anyway, let's turn the page like we all should as good horse players. Turn the page and move on to the next day, which is today. So I've got a couple horses that I'm going to make some win bets on, and we're going to go from there. So let's get started in the fifth race today at Del Mar. The fifth race starts about 4:30 Central Time, so that's 2:30 there in a Pacific time zone. Fifth race being a 6-furlong dirt race, $16,000 claimers. These are non-winner of 2 lifetimes, so this is kind of your bottom rung there in Southern California. I do have a horse I'm going to make a win bet on. That's the 5 horse was Misty Muppet for Mike Pipey and Kazushi Kimura. Now, we saw these guys pair up for a nice win yesterday, which was, helped out the day there. So we'll see if this ends up being a team, to watch for. As I mentioned, Pipey's back off the suspension. He was pinched for, several months. He's back now, so we'll see if he starts winning races. I do like this horse. I think this horse has run some nice dirt races and, has had 2 starts this year. This third start off this layoff, could be what this horse needs. 6-1 in the program should be a good price in a field that I think is void of talent. So we'll go for this 6-1 Misty Muppet, make a win bet there in the 5th race. Now let's move over to the 6th race of the day. 6th race of the day is a mile on the dirt. These are made in 20,000 claimers. And again, your bottom rung there in Southern California. So got a big field signed on, a field of 10. And I do like the 10 horse here. 10 horse being Stick Shift for Doug O'Neill and Antonio Fresu. Now, we've seen these guys pair up for a lot of wins. O'Neill certainly likes to use Fresu, in all types of races. This horse is 5-1 today in the program. So the challenge is, Fresu has to figure out a trip and make it work from the 10 hole, out there in a dirt mile race, which, isn't always easy. We're going to put our trust in Antonio Fresu. I do feel like this horse has certainly run with better. He's dropping into 20 here. And, I don't think this is a panic drop. This horse ran for 40 last time. So I think, they're getting realistic on what this horse is. And, maybe its claiming ranks are just what this horse is going to be. So we'll take a shot here with Stick Shift at 5-1 with Antonio Fresu and make a win bet there in the 6th race. All right, now, the 7th race I feel is wide open. Is a 5-furlong grass race, 25,000. So your bottom rung grass horses there in Southern California, very open race. You can hit the all button there if you're playing multiple race wagers. Then the feature race, which is the 8th race, it's the Betty Grable, 7 furlongs. They're Calbred. So this is the female edition of what, the California series. They had the boys running yesterday in the Cary Grant. So this is the Betty Grable, so this is for fillies. Nice horses signed on here. We'll see how horses like Chismosa runs, Big Summer, and then the favorite Pushing This. So, we'll see. We'll watch a good race there. I don't have a selection there, but I do have a win bet in the last race of the day. Last race of the day being the 9th race today. That's a mile and a 16th on the grass, made in 50,000 claimers. Now, I've said this now several times, they're bottom rung. So this is your bottom rung turf, maidens. They don't run for less than 50 there. in Southern California. So, when they card these 50,000 claiming races on the turf, a lot of them are Boulevard or Broken Dreams horses. These horses that, there was a lot of money spent on them and they didn't pan out, and they're trying to figure out if they could run them for 50 and hopefully someone claims. So, several of these horses have been running in this level and just kind of running, even races, getting beat. And it's not an easy race to figure out, but I do have a win bet here that I want to make. I'm going to bet the 3-horse and Ready to Rumble. This is for Peter Miller. Hector Berrios takes the call. Now this, could be one of your Boulevard or Broken Dreams horses. They paid $170,000 for this horse. He's a 3-year-old gelding. He'd been running in special rates, running nicely. I do like his last few races. I looked at his last 3 in particular. He ran a 5-furlong grass race, made in special weight over at Del Mar this past summer, and I thought he ran a nice race, nice even race, had an outside post, which is not easy to do in those 5-furlong turf sprints, and I thought he ran a nice even race. They followed up putting this horse in for a mile and made in special weights on the grass, and the horse just ended up having a troubled trip. Got off slow. Basically, the race was done pretty much a few yards after the start. So I don't fault the horse for that race. I give him a pass. But, it looks like the connections got realistic. They ended up dropping him into 50 over at Santa Anita. And this is the level here. So that was a mile race on the grass at Santa Anita. And the horse showed up nicely. Ended up coming second, could have possibly won the race. So they're switching over to Hector Berrios. Berrios did ride this horse once. As we see, Hector Berrios really put some good rides on horses, especially on the turf over at Del Mar. This horse is 3-1 in the program. And if we can get 3-1, I think that would be a nice score at 3-1 for And Ready to Rumble. All right, now let's recap the day and recap the bets. So today, as I mentioned, I don't have any pick 5 tickets. I've got some win bets I want to make. So if you want to use these win bets to form your own multi-race tickets, please feel free to do so. In the 5th race, I've got the win bet on the 5. In the 6th race, I've got the win bet on the 10. And then in the 9th race, I've got the win bet on the 3. So those are 3 win bets there. As I mentioned, you could bet them as is, use them for your multi-race, do what you need to do to make it a good day for you over at Del Mar. So as always, I wish you the best of luck in your bets today. Let's get some good trips, because good trips result in good luck and good results. And let's wish the folks over at Del Mar a safe day of racing and a great day of racing. So as always, I ask you to do me a favor, hit the subscribe button if you can. Doesn't cost anything, just puts you on the feed. When new content gets served up, you get it. It gets served up to you. So I appreciate that. Like or dislike, make comments. Certainly we'll promise to respond to any and all comments, and let's create a discussion. I do like that. So as always, thank you so much for watching today, Fast Horses Today, and let's make it a great day over at Del Mar, where the turf meets the surf. See you soon.